Oh my God! I told you. Oh, hi! 5, 4, 3, 2,
Yay.
1. Go. It's yours,
Okay,
Ray.
hey guys, welcome to a great show. We have Christine. This is Big Brother Unscripted. I'm joined by the lovely Shana. Christine, welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm very
Sorry, everybody. We've had nothing but issues. We think we
It's
solved
me.
it. We're sorry from jumping all over the place. We are live now, and we have Christine, like I said, final 6. How's it feel to be home, my friend?
Crazy. It still doesn't feel normal, but hopefully we'll get there soon. It's good, just not normal.
Well, I guess it all depends on your version of normal.
I was just
Touche.
going to say the same thing. I was going to say, what would be a normal day in the life of Christine?
Going to Starbucks and then coming home and watching a movie with Tim. And I don't have a job right now, and so I think that also is why I feel so weird.
Yeah, there goes my Starbucks hookup. Always happens. Every time. I
Always
don't know. I get excited about it, and then it's like, oh. I want to.
Starbucks, my first introduction to Starbucks was in Dubai, and I fell in love with it. I'm a caramel macchiato, extra caramel. Oh,
Nice.
that's the nectar of the
good.
gods.
That is a good one. Tim loves that a lot.
Oh, God, I can drink that forever. Thankfully, we don't have a Starbucks here, so every day that I go up to Ottawa, or every Wednesday I go up to Ottawa, I always get a Starbucks.
Well, that's good. Once a week, that's good.
I get it every day.
Yay.
Well, I have a gift card, and
yes.
so I just go every day. And like now, I have 15 cents left on my gift card. What am I gonna do now?
And then you still have to go one more time.
I gotta go one more time and just take the 15 cents off. I'll have to get a tall instead of a grande.
True.
But it's the holiday, man. You gotta go with pumpkin spice latte. That's where
what's
it's at
up.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Double
you know,
shot of pumpkin.
it brings up a great question. I was going to save it for later. Starbucks, are you still working there, Christine?
No, and I didn't get fired. I actually had to quit before I came out to LA because you only have 1 month leave of absence, and so I was going to be gone for 3. I assumed. And so I quit, and then when I came back, I was going to ask my manager if I could have my job back. He no longer lives here. So he moved while I was gone, and there's no positions open there, so got to move on.
Oh, man. Well, at least that quashes any type of rumors that you were fired or any crap like that. Folks, the haters, she quit. Quit. All right.
I had such a good song for you
that's all
tonight.
great.
If we could have played it, but it's the Taylor Swift song "Shake It Off."
Oh, I love it. I did a vine to that today.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I gotta find it. Send it to me later.
I tweeted it, so find it on my Twitter.
Okay, I will definitely. Yeah, I'm in love with that song, and it just fits Twitter and the whole scenario. Yeah,
absolutely.
All over again. So shake it off, Christine.
I'm doing that.
Shake it off. So, I'm going through, I know we talked earlier, Christine, but so as a super fan, this whole experience must be absolutely crazy. I guess, how far back does the super fandom go?
Oh, I've been watching Big Brother since season 1 when I was 9 years old. I've never missed an episode.
Crazy.
Me and my mom have watched everything together, yeah. And I remember, like in season 3, I was like, oh my gosh, if they have a Big Brother 14, I want to be on it. And I was like, there's no way they're going to have that many. And then I made it to 16.
Wow. So that's like, you could say that's life's dream. I mean, you went through middle school and junior high and high school with the intentions of, I'm going to be on Big Brother someday. So to actually be there, that's an amazing find. I love that. That's awesome.
It really was my only lifelong dream, and I did it. So that's awesome.
Do you still feel like it was a well-deserved lifelong dream after being in that house for that many days? With no outside world. No regrets?
No. Well, regrets? yes. But no, yeah, no regrets getting on the show and wanting to do it.
Good. I'm glad. You should always have an experience like that in your life that you have no regrets as far as the game goes and being on the show. It's a great opportunity for everybody out there. I wish that Big Brother got more of a, what would you say, more of a promo. You know, it's so close there with Survivor and Amazing Race that I think that it should get more more attraction, more attention, post and pre. As far as getting the house guests out there and involved. And they are doing a little bit of more of that. I know we can't talk production, but I know that there's going to be more than one of you, and I don't know if you can say too much about that, on the Bold and Beautiful. Do you know anything about what's going on with that? Is the whole cast, can you say if the whole cast is going to be on there?
No, I mean, everybody talked on Twitter about it. I remember Donnie, Nicole, Zach, Amber, I can't remember who else, but there's like 7 or something of them on there.
Okay, so unfortunately you're not one of the BBs.
No.
Which is okay, because there's bigger and better things out there for you. That's all that means. But yeah, I think that's actually a good thing, because instead of just having one person given that opportunity, they're now giving the opportunity to a lot more people, and I think that's what they should do. They should have started out a long time ago with having the post-HGs involved in a lot more talk and variety shows and etc. on television. I don't think they got recognized as much as they should have. Back to you, Richard.
Yeah, so, you know, being the super fan and stuff like that, approaching the casting, the whole casting experience, you know, submitting the video, was it just, you know, I'm going to sit down, shoot a video? Did you do any research? How did you get onto Big Brother the first shot? Apparently that's tough to do.
Yeah, so I actually read Dan Giesling's book, forgot what it's called, but like How to Get on Reality TV, I don't remember. Anyway, so me and Nicole were actually to read it. And so we knew it was having the whole process, but I made a video, and I tried to make it as extravagant as I could. Like, I was really pumped, and I was myself, and it was awesome. And then I got an email asking that if I could go to the casting call, go to it. And then I went to the casting call, and then I got a call back, and it was, and so the cool thing was is I always knew what to expect next, so that was good.
Yeah, I know the same book. I've purchased it. Dan Giesling, How an Average Guy Got Casted on Reality TV. It's an easy read. I think if you're going to go and approach the whole casting experience, it's not just as simple as submitting a video. There's a lot of many steps. I'm sure, Christine, you can't really talk a lot about them. But like, you got the audition video, the email if you can attend, and that's just like the very first steps of the whole process. I guess I'm very curious. I'm very curious about that week in LA, and of course I know you can't speak about it, but as you're walking around doing all your little things, did you notice anybody that was going to be on your season?
Mostly I remembered Caleb and Zach the most. Those were the 2 that I talked about a lot, because Caleb wore, and I told him this, Caleb wore his sunglasses in the bar while he was watching TV, and I thought that was hilarious. Zach was just a hilarious weirdo, and so he was funny.
Oh, that's awesome. That must be pretty weird when you walk into the house for the first time. Of course, you're not live on the feeds. I remember you. Oh, my God. I could almost see it, and then you're the person I'm going to stab in the back.
Exactly.
So,
and that comes to a question, if you don't mind me interrupting, Richard. I know I'm bad for that. But, Christine, when Devin first brought you into the Bomb Squad Alliance, you and Amber, why didn't you just take that information and run and choose to tell it to other house guests and bust the alliance?
That's a good question. I 100% regret not telling Nicole. I should have told her from the back. I hate that I didn't do that. But other than that, I mean, honestly, it was the 6 strongest guys in the house. I honestly don't even think the 10 of us could have taken them, to be completely honest, if I would have switched. And I don't think I could have gone as far if I did do that. So I thought maybe I could weasel my way in.
Okay.
Well, and it's curious because your strategy was to get yourself into the main group and to sort of befriend somebody on the outs.
Yeah.
At what point did that strategy, because you saw it as soon as you walked in, you sort of established all that, thanks, I think, in part with Devin, just sort of bringing you into the now 8-person alliance. I still giggle at that.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Caleb, poor Caleb, waking up like, what the fuck, dude?
I gotta tell you something.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you haven't watched, you stated in the chat room that you have not watched the show back yet. I think it's a good idea for you all to watch the show back. I would want to watch it. Do you have plans on watching it?
No, I don't have any plans on ever watching it. No. I watched Sloppy the Snowman competition, and even hearing those DRs was way too much, and so I can't.
Well, I think, at this point, it's probably still an emotional roller coaster for everybody, and it's probably too early. But maybe eventually you might, down the line, maybe when the next season starts or something, say, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to watch my own season. It's not all that bad. It's not that bad.
Good.
Right, Richard?
Oh, you know what? From a fan standpoint, I know I'm going to probably get a lot of boos. I enjoyed the season. I liked everything about it. I know a lot of people said it was boring, but I think it's safe to say that Derek sort of just ran through that house, manipulated everybody, and it made for a very boring season because there wasn't the controversy. And I think people were so eager for controversy or something that it just, they latched on, unfortunately, I think, to the story that with you and Cody and the whole Frankie, like everybody just tried to jump on like Zanke, Team Zanke. They hoped that they were going to get together. And then there was the conspiracy and the edit that BB was giving you with Cody. So you get all these crazy people out there, and as we know from sitting here, the questions, people's perspectives are just so out there. As a super fan going in, you had your strategy, and it changes. And I firmly believe that any strategy going in is left at the door, and then it's like, oh shit. What do I do now? Oh, God, they're talking. They must be an alliance. I got to become friends with them. Because like we were saying earlier, I've never lost a game of Big Brother ever while sitting on my couch.
Yeah, nobody. You should have done this. You should have done this. Okay, maybe you should actually go in the house and realize that you don't know anything that's happening.
Yeah, Dan has his mist. I have a spray. Because I just, you sort of sit there and you just scratch your head with a lot of these comments and stuff like that. But at what point in the game, because you walked in, you went and you had your alliance that you had said, or sorry, your strategy going into the house. But at what point does it start to change? Is it like, are you picking up cues from questions from production? And folks, spoiler alert, they're not random thoughts. They're questions asked by production, and then they capture the audio and the video. So do you start to pick up on that? And does that start playing in your head, or do you just try to stick with your strategy?
Honestly, when you walk in that door, your strategy is gone. It's so overwhelming. 15 other people. Like, I'm a very exuberant person, but with Pow and Joey in there, I really dialed myself down. I realized, okay, those are the crazy good girls. Those are like the crazy ones, the fun ones. So I kind of dialed myself down, and I realized, I kind of even did my strategy by sticking with the bomb squad by having Nicole on the other side. But it's so freaking overwhelming in that house. You can't even explain it.
Now, is it a feeling like when you go into the house that you just hope that you can trust that one person that you're going to try to skate with to the end? And like if they can come across as, hey, I'm your friend, I'm here for you, you just sort of trust them blindly and hope to God that it works out, or does it change that random and rapidly throughout the house?
Oh, it changes every day. And I called those boys. I said those boys were like PMSing girls because every day it seemed like they had a new target. And I was like, I can't keep up with this. But I mean, everyone was the same way in that house. Every day the person you trust the most changes. Usually, apparently not for Derek and Cody, but for me, I didn't know if I could trust Nicole, Frankie, and stuff. So it's very difficult.
Now, in the house, did you realize how much control Derek had on the house, or were you guys expecting or suspecting that it was Frankie that was sort of the ringleader, or like, I'm trying to figure out how Derek just got through so unscathed.
I have no idea. Like, I had no idea it was Derek until I got in the jury house, and I was like, Nicole, Derek said this about you, and she's like, that's not true. Derek told me this about you, and you're like, what? It was Derek telling all of us lies about each other, and nobody confronted each other. It was unbelievable. We're stupid.
No, I think Derek is just that gifted with his profession, the ability to talk, to express his thought, and to very subtly planting a seed and then just letting you guys water and grow the whole thing. And it was amazing from a viewer to watch. The DRs, some of the DRs were pretty comical. Like there's one with Derek showing how he's going to play Caleb. And he's like, 1, and then they show it. 2, and then they show it. And
I want to see that.
Yeah, like there were some pretty funny clips, and then you just see it, and you're like, oh my God, like he really did pull that off. And like he did play great. I know I loved him. I thought he was a real joy to watch, but I just couldn't figure out how nobody could see it. Like Donnie, I think Donnie was the only one that really saw it, but it just didn't seem like he wanted to. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, he didn't really do anything about it because you're scared in that game. You're scared to call out the person who's really doing it. And, I mean, he did say it a couple times, but not really. Like, he thought me, Derek, and Frankie were working together, and that wasn't true and stuff. So I kind of wish he went harder on that. Nicole, too, when she came back, she said she was going after Cody and Derek. She didn't tell me that. If we would have really talked things out, I feel like things could have changed a little bit.
Yeah, and like I guess why didn't you guys talk it out? Was Nicole just that bitter about being voted out because it was your HOH, or was it just she's on a mission and she didn't seem to have the heart like she did when she was first in the house?
Yeah, no, she absolutely didn't. And previously, every word that came out of my mouth, she told someone else. So at that point, I was too scared to talk to her about it. And I think she was too scared of me, too, because I was close with the guys. And so we were just scared of each other, essentially.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Absolutely. So, I guess going through, like, the whole game up until that point where you're sort of now aligned with the guys, what type of character did you think you were casted as, and at what point did you realize that changed?
I actually was told that I was pretty much the McCrae of this season. I'm not positive what that means. But I was like, sweet, sounds good. I was excited. And you get clues throughout the season, and I could tell that I was the villain. And so I kind of went with it. I was like, well, at least I'm somebody at this point, Let's go with it. So I did.
And I know watching from a previous interview, here you are, your DRs as a super fan walking out, and I saw the interview the other day with On the Block. Your DRs or your farewell messages were just like, wow. That's not a super fan.
Oh, let me tell you. Okay, so my goodbye messages, every week I said, okay, I'm going to record this one if there's a buyback and a different one if there's no buyback. Every week I did it. But then I would record the one with no buyback, and I was like, you know what, forget it. Just use that one. I tried to do it for my fun, but I couldn't do it.
Well, it was just funny because you'd see it like, "Hey, Zach, ha ha!" And then you're like, aren't you supposed to be watching the door?
No, Zach loved that, and I knew he would, and we talked about it. When he came back in the house, like 2 minutes later, he was like, "Dude, epic goodbye message." I was like, "I thought you would like it."
Oh yeah, no, I was sitting there and I'm like, "Oh my God, what is she like?" I giggled. It made for great DRs.
It made for good TV, didn't it? At that point, I didn't have any jurors' numbers, so might as well go out with a bang.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna go big.
I have a little something to play for you. Here we go.
Christine, there's a belief that glasses make people look smarter.
Curse you, Kathy.
Now, who was that? If you can tell me who that is, I will give you a special mug that says Christine on it.
Ooh, Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, where you were like one of the first ones to notice Zingbot walk through the door.
I was the first one. Mm-hmm.
And looking back at it, you're like, oh my God, Zing, Zing, Zing. And you're like, this is no fun because he was being nice to everybody. And I was like, oh God, Christine, he's not going to be nice for very much longer. Not that we knew. Exactly, that Kathy Lee Griffin was coming in there. So how did you, what was your reaction to her walking through the door?
Well, first of all, it's surprising when a human walks through the door. Right away, I knew who she was, and I knew her comedy could be brutal. So I was like, uh-oh, she's probably going to be the one singing us right now.
Do you, was there any special zing towards the other house guest that was one of your favorites? Because I have a favorite.
Oh, absolutely. Zach's was an all-time gold.
Yeah. I love that zing. I think that was the funniest thing I have ever heard in any season. And it was by Kathy and not
Zingbot, yeah.
And not Zingbot. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, wasn't expecting that.
So, like, what's the reaction in the house? What's the reaction of the house guest when Zingbot walks in and is going, props? All the props and stuff like that, like.
I think I was more mad than anybody because as a super fan, I was like, Zingbot! And I was like, what the heck is this prop bot doing in my house right now? But we were uber confused. So confused. I was like, it was actually creepy, the Zingbot being nice. It was a very eerie feeling because you knew something was not right in his brain.
Right.
It was fun, though.
And what was your take on the whole double HOH and Battle of the Block? Being a super fan, this is the first time they've ever done that. And I've asked this question before to other house guests. There goes my word, asked again. But I've said, do you feel like having the double HOH took away from the glory of it, the throne of having that HOH solely to yourself? And not...
No, not really, because, I mean, you only had 2 HOHs for 24 hours. Not even 24 hours. And so you really did get to be the sole HOH, and it was cool because 2 people got baskets every week.
True.
But I can't say that I don't like that twist because maybe I would have gone third if we didn't have that twist, you know. But I kind of do wish I could play regular Big Brother with just 1 HOH the whole time just to see what it's like. But, I mean, it definitely made for interesting TV, I think.
It did. And what about the Battle of the Block? Did it seem like it took like maybe 1 or 2 episodes to kind of get the hang of that? And did you like having to be able to nominate 2 each?
No, what did stink is because you nominate 2 people, and it could be a possibility that both of them are safe for the week. And that was so frustrating.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so that was a scary thing, but it turned out okay.
What was your favorite comp?
Sloppy the Snowman, honestly. Sliding back and forth because that
Falling on your ass.
Yes, that's what I went on Big Brother for. I wanted to play competitions that kicked my butt and, like, really proved endurance. That's what I wanted. And so that one was my all-time favorite. And then the comic book one was my second favorite. That was so fun.
You know, and in the beginning of the Sloppy Snowman, you weren't doing so well. And then all of a sudden it was like, wait, where did Christine come from? Because she's getting it now, and I felt bad. Victoria kept falling, and Nicole kept falling, and
I was sad, but I thought Nicole was going to keep up with me most of the time.
Is it hard to do that and not have your eyes going back and forth trying to watch what everybody else is doing?
Every time I went up that hill to grab liquid, I looked at everybody's things every single time, and it was frustrating. You know what they did? I grabbed my ball out a couple seconds after Caleb did. Yeah. I was so mad at myself. I was like, oh, I didn't even need to take those extra things. But you have to figure out how to get the ball out. It's kind of complicated.
And you would think, being a girl and having smaller fingers, that it would be easier to get out. I think maybe his might have had just a little bit extra liquid.
His had more, yeah. I did have the slender fingers
to pull it out.
Yeah.
Did we lose Richard? Are you still with us, Richard?
I think I'm back. I was having some issues. Everybody was freezing up.
Okay, he's refreshing. So Richard will be back with us shortly. So I want to get back to Nicole. I know that you said you regret not aligning with her, or at least telling her about telling her about the bomb squad.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like the two of you were still pretty tight in the beginning there. And what happened, do you think, that caused you to both kind of, I don't want to say turn on each other, but go on opposite sides?
I mean, I didn't see the show, so I don't know for sure, but I'm sure me not telling her about the bomb squad, like, busted the trust, like, shaped it at least a little bit. And then I know Hayden didn't trust me that much, and so her and Hayden were getting really tight. And that's why everyone's mad at me for saying the Victoria and Hayden, like, makeout thing. But,
okay. That was.
Let me say, Zach said, like, Victoria and Hayden made out, and I thought he was serious. And so that is why I said it. Why did I believe Zach? I don't know. And I mean, Zach said it jokingly, but I thought he was serious. So I was like, oh my God.
Who wouldn't believe Zach?
And so I was like, okay, you know, so I told Nicole to maybe, it didn't work, whatever. Trying to get her list on Hayden's side. But me and Nicole talked in the jury house. We both heard one night, we thought we heard Hayden and Victoria kissing. They didn't, but we both thought that they did.
In the jury house, no less?
No, we talked about it in the jury house, because I was like, I swear I heard you.
Oh, okay, so you talked about it in the jury house, and both agreed that you thought you heard them kissing in the other house. But I was ready for a showman's. I don't know, how were you feeling about the whole Zanky thing? Did it bother you that these men had so much affection for each other? I thought it was pretty cool myself. And
I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't even notice it. Like,
really?
I don't know how I missed
it. Isn't it so funny how we, as fans, watching live feeds 24/7, saw all these men groping all over each other, and, like, you know, they would cry, they would hug. It was awesome. It was beautiful. It was like this heartfelt moment between these men, and then real affection between Frankie and Zach, and then Caleb, and then, you know, Frankie was hugging Derek, and, I mean, but no showmance. No bromance, I should say.
No,
semi-showmance with Hayden and Nicole. But going back to the fans, yes, we did have one of the fans asking about the kiss. Yeah, about the kiss. So I'm going to scroll through here and see if there's any fan questions that we can get to, so we can give the fans a feeling like they are with you. We did ask about the Zanky. I just asked about the Zanky. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, Curtis has a very good question, and that goes back to the Sloppy the Snowman competition. Who would you have targeted if you had won the competition?
The Sloppy Snowman, actually, I would have put up initially Nicole and Victoria, but if Frankie didn't win the veto, I was going to back.
So, see,
and then if he won it, Nicole would have gone home.
there were several opportunities when y'all could have backdoored Frankie and gotten Frankie out, and he just kept lasting and lasting and lasting. And I feel, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel the minute that he told everybody about Ariana was the light switch. I'm not saying that he used it, but I feel like he kind of did. I feel like he, maybe not intentionally, but the way it all came out, yeah, it was all of a sudden, okay, now everybody is giving him a second chance. And then what did he start doing? He started, you know, playing aggressively again. So you saw that too then, right?
Oh, yeah, it was literally like
split second.
It was literally like Frankie flew glitter in everybody's eyeballs, and they completely were blinded and forgot about everything he had done. And it was frustrating. I mean, I'm glad that's a tool. I wish I had a tool like that. And that's cool that he used it. But I was mad at the house kids. I was like, why are we all forgiving what Frankie just did? I mean, he didn't wrong me. He wronged everyone else at that time. And so I thought it was funny that everyone was blinded by it.
That got him his safety. If he hadn't, at that time, he was going home. He was totally going home.
He saved it for a good week.
Saved himself. Right. And then he started acting the same way as he did prior to that and playing the same game when he said that now he felt like once he told everybody about Ariana, he felt like that made him be more of himself. So I saw him change. So do you feel like your true person was portrayed throughout the whole game, or do you feel like the game did change you somewhat throughout? And if it did, when do you feel that you changed and didn't feel like you were yourself anymore?
Absolutely not. I didn't feel like myself at all through the house, and I think that's what's such a big adjustment coming to the real world is finding myself again. Because, like I said, when we walked in there, me and Nicole were so overwhelmed by the strong women personalities in that house, and I felt like I had to dial down and be a different person. It's hard to explain, and then once you figure out, like once I realized I was the villain, then I kind of just ran with it, and I wasn't myself anymore, and I regret it. I wish I didn't, but I did, and so yeah, I definitely really wasn't myself. I could have been. I wasn't my funny, like lighthearted self like usual. Dang it.
Is that because of the issues within the house, or like, you know, the social dynamics? Like you just sort of feel like if I'm quiet, everybody's going to focus at the next bigger threat, or do you just sort of, it is what it is at that point? Is that sort of the mindset?
Yeah, it's kind of hard because you know you're going in there being a character. And I guess I got confused on which one mine was because I thought that I was going to be more of a Joey because in the real world I am. And so it was just, you realize you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, and you kind of freak out.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, when Frankie's doing his glitter mist or whatever that was, I'm curious, like, why didn't you just stand there and say, wait a second, this is bullshit? Yeah, no, he's the arsehole, I'm not, because it's sort of, everybody looks over to you at that point because, haha, my sister's this, I'm great, and, like, you saw it, like, Victoria's like, oh my god, like, she was fangirling over her sister. It was a brilliant strategy on his part because it was sort of shock and awe, and it sort of really shifted everything, but then you get into the whole Battle of the Block where Caleb sits out, and here it is, and like I know on TV it was like, sweet mother of God, is this really happening? What's going on in the backyard? Like, are you all sitting there going, well, let's see what you do, production.
No, that was awkward because I was the only one besides Frankie that didn't know Caleb was going to throw it. So I'm like looking around trying to make eye contact with people. Nobody's looking me in the eye. As soon as Caleb sits down, I was like, I hate all of you. I hate you. And so that's when I realized, I was like, oh shoot, I am so in trouble. Like, I'm so out of the loop. And Caleb sat down and I was like, what is happening? But to be honest, that week, I did want Frankie to go home. And so I was happy, and I actually was coaching Zach and Donnie. I was trying to help them win, but it didn't work.
So now, of course, Frankie pulls off an incredible win, like, you know, by himself. And I know talking to Caleb, it was sort of a lot easier for one person, and he sort of wish he would have jumped up. But you get a great trip out of the deal. Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be pretty cool.
That was awesome. Getting out of the house, I've never ridden in an RV before, so that part was even cool. And we got to meet like awesome people, Jerry Jones and stuff, and that was really fun.
So was it a full, like a complete day at practice and stuff like that, or of course it was edited pretty down? It was edited down pretty short on the episode. How long do you figure you guys were there for?
We were out of the house for a good like 10 or 11 hours.
Really?
Just
Wow.
like in waiting rooms, like hidden and stuff. So it was a long day. It was fun though, very fun.
Yeah, and probably a welcome relief to be out of the house and just seeing different people.
Exactly.
Now, were there a lot of Big Brother fans on the team?
No.
No.
None of the players cared about us.
That is so funny.
It was like, okay, gotta be on TV, gotta do my thing. CBS gotta do this. They were so sweet though. All of them were so sweet.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, I'm Christine.
I'm from BB16. Don't you watch Big Brother?
No.
So I know earlier we were talking. You got a little bit of a package. Now I guess it's Christmas.
Yes, I got all my Big Brother stuff. I got so much Dallas Cowboy stuff too. I got like shorts and shirts and a sweater. It's awesome. And I got my comic book cover. I got it was like Christmas. It was better than Christmas opening that box.
Now, is that when you get your key in the box?
Yeah. Got my key too.
So, like, do they frame it for you with the cast photo, or do you have to go out and get it framed?
They have to do it themselves.
Yeah, I gotta go do it. I have the cast photo and then the key.
But no DVD set.
No.
CBS, really? The amount of money that you're making, you can give them a little CD set.
I don't want to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to watch. My mom does have it all on DVD for me, but
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, did she record it with a VCR? That's what I want to know.
No, she recorded it with the DVDs.
Okay, I was going to ask, does anybody still use VCRs out there and VHS tapes and whatnot?
Yeah, 23. I'm surprised that you know what a VCR is.
I used to watch Big Brother taped on VHSs. Yeah. If I had like practice for too long or something, I'd come home and it'd be on VHS. Okay.
My father gave or lent my son a VHS, and he's walking in, or VCR. He's in his room. He's like, "Dad, what is it?" I'm like, and he's 15. I said, "Well, it's a VCR."
That's awesome.
And he's looking at disc, and he's looking at it. He's like, "I don't get it." But now he's watching Austin Powers. So, I guess coming back here with the, with that competition and sort of knowing that you're on the outs because you didn't know the plan was to throw it on Caleb's part, do you not start reevaluating your position? And I know you've watched a lot of seasons, and it's sort of, I start thinking about season 12 and Hayden, Brittany, where she was sort of the last girl on the outs and the brigade just sort of dropped her. Did any of that sort of come in and go, holy shit, I'm really out of touch here, I need to make a move?
That did come to mind. And then I thought that week that if I backdoored Nicole, they would be more loyal to me. And so that's why I did that. It worked for 2 weeks or something.
I guess that's the name of the game, huh? You got to hold on as long as you can, and you did that, and I think you did a great job of it. No matter what anybody else says, I enjoyed watching you this season anyway. So.
Thank you. It was fun. If I didn't go out on a double evict, I think I could possibly have swayed Frankie and Caleb to keep me to stay, but those double evicts get you.
Yeah.
They do.
Now, with the double evict, I guess we can get right into it. You walk straight out of the house like a total villain. Absolutely, I get it.
Like the villain that you are.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It was just like everybody's like, huh? What? Huh? And then you walk out to the booze, or I guess it was. Now, from what I understand, it was one man who was with his kids, and he booed you or something like that, or was it?
He gathered an army. I mean, it wasn't just him and his girls. I actually met some people on finale night afterwards that were like, yeah, this guy said he was going to start it, and people just went with it. Like half the people just did it. I mean, it's fun. It's TV.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It didn't look fun when you came out, and it actually, for me, was a heartfelt moment because I never want to see anybody come out of that house and be upset or get that kind of a welcome, unwelcome, whatever you want to call it. I don't think anybody deserves that, no matter what. You can agree or not agree with the gameplay, but kudos to you for being on the show and doing what you did and coming out. So I'm going to clap for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And save the booze.
The only thing I can say is I swear to God those booze better make sure that I'm on All Stars. Better be that much of a villain.
So I take it you might have a different strategy going into All Stars.
She's going to be a villain the next time.
I don't even know. I can't even begin to think about another strategy.
It's funny, like, because, you know, of course, again, sitting as a fan at home watching the season, you're, like, screaming at the TV saying, okay, you got Victoria, you've got Donnie, you know, at the time you had Jocasta and stuff like that. Like, and they were sort of the underdogs that were sort of just, everybody was picking them off one at a time. With Nicole, Hayden, and that crew, again, I play a perfect game from home, so I can call every shot. But like, it just didn't seem like anybody was willing to jump onto that bandwagon with that group and sort of corral the big guys. Or is it just that you felt that great in your position in the house?
No, Donnie didn't really have that good of a social game, so hooking up with him didn't really feel like that good of an idea to me. He was great at vetoes. That's awesome. Right. But other than that, he went to bed at midnight and stuff, and he never talked to people a lot of times. And then Nicole and Hayden, I legitimately did want to work with. And I was going to go with them before the bomb squad until I found out that Nicole was telling them everything and that she aligned with Cody and Derek, and at that point I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Can't trust her.
Right.
Which I can't blame her. I mean, I literally did the same exact thing. But I'm saying that's when, that's when I jumped.
Speaking of Nicole, Curtis wants to know, does Nicole still plan to get a tattoo with you?
I don't plan on getting a tattoo anymore, so
you've got enough?
I doubt it that she will.
You don't want to get villain tattooed right here?
I'll get villain on the other side.
A villain across the chest.
Or casualty of hitmen.
There you go. Casualty of the hitmen.
That'd be funny.
Hey, Derek, check this tattoo out. So I guess that means no power veto or HOH tattoos or anything like that.
No, right?
I was going to get a little house that didn't even say Big Brother or anything. And just in my sleeve, nobody would have even noticed it, but I don't even know if I'll get that now.
I want to address something because one of our chatters is asking, Cal Joggin, do you think it's unfair that you were booed and Frankie wasn't? I just want to let everybody know that that was a filmed exit that Frankie had. It was not a live exit, so there wasn't a live audience there that evening. So it wouldn't be fair to compare both exits, I believe. Well,
Frankie's audience was rigged, essentially. I mean, it had drag queens in it. It had all of his fans.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I don't think anybody deserves booze, so I don't think it's unfair that Frankie didn't get booze at all. But, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, whatever.
But again,
it is.
Right, different scenarios, though. We have to remember that his was a recorded episode, and then it wasn't a live episode.
But
exactly. So I just wanted to clear that up. And then Will Kill is talking about Victoria's stare. Victoria's stare bother you?
You know what?
Can you show us what the stare looked like?
No.
To you?
Yeah. I can't because at home Tim gets mad. I mean, I don't give as much of a stare as she did, but I do also get in a trance and I stare. But it was kind of funny.
Would you see in her slop?
You'd look over and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Victoria's staring.
She does definitely get in that little trance every once in a while.
I get it.
And I'll ask one more fan question, then I'll give it back to you, Richard. Anna, who is our favorite fan, Anna, I love you to death, says, Christine, my question for you is, did you see the video that Dan Giesling did on you about the BB16 house guest? And he called you very sweet about what you did for the homeless man. So I guess there's a video out there by Dan, if you haven't seen it. And evidently he speaks highly for you.
That's nice.
Highly of you, and says that you are very sweet. And can you tell those of us who don't know what you did for this homeless man?
Oh, Dan's nice. We did homeless ministry, Tim and I did homeless ministry, and we found out that it was his kid's birthday. I mean, literally, he was like turning 22 and he was homeless. And so we found out the next Tuesday that we were going to be there, that it was his birthday, so I went to Walmart and I bought a ton of buckets of chicken and a ton of cupcakes, and I went to his usual hangout downtown, and we had a birthday party for all the homeless people. So it was really fun. It was funny. It was fun.
That is really cool. That is really cool.
And that's right outside of the house? Like as soon as you got to the house?
Oh, no, that's before.
No, that was before Big Brother.
Okay,
at all.
Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, how in the heck did you manage to do that in L.A.? Like,
wow.
wow.
Actually, in L.A., I also took a man to breakfast, a homeless man. You just kind of pick a random one and you take them out to breakfast and you talk to them. Yeah, so I've been doing homeless ministry for a while, but it's fun.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I do love it.
So, I guess, coming out of the house to the booze, and I know you can't talk about the production. I know you go into psych and all that stuff, and then you get ready for your next day of interviews. Now you're on your way. You're through all the interviews. You're on your way to the jury house. You walk in, and sweet mother of God, I tell you, I'm like, this poor woman cannot catch a break at all.
That was hands down the most uncomfortable moment of my life.
The only thing was missing was Donnie doing the cricket noise, because it was like,
oh my God, I love that.
Like, I was like, oh my God. Now I know it did sort of soothe out after, and from the interview that I watched the other night, it was Donnie who sort of welcomed you in and became friendly, joking, and everybody sort of settled themselves down, and you're one big happy family again. How long did that take? Was it like within an hour? Was it a day?
By the end of the night, it was not awkward anymore, and by the next morning, we were hanging out like family all over again. So it was nice.
Oh, that's good, because I was sitting there and I'm like, wow. Like I just like I was starting to wondering, like, did production set these people in there and then tell the house, okay, the villain's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, it was so awkward. That was the first time I'd ever cried about the game. I went back in the house and I cried, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward.
Man, I tell you, you're quite the trooper. Like, here you are, you're smiling. Kudos on you. I think you've got a great, great personality. You're an absolute joy to talk to. So, good on you. Like, you're keeping a smile, and I think it's awesome. I guess it gets in sort of now into the that round table. You get, as a super fan, you get to meet a guy. I think his name is Dr. Will. How's that?
That was awesome. Oh my gosh, I seriously couldn't believe that he was sitting right there. And it was funny because I knew that the only people who had watched the season were me and Donnie. None of the other house guests had even seen this season, so I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. It was super exciting. He was so suave. Like, I thought he was going to be suave, but he was even more suave in person than I expected, and very tall. It was awesome.
Really? Now, obviously, you guys have the round table. Do you get to sort of sit there after and say, like, hey, how's it going? Chat one-on-one or within the group without the cameras, or as soon as the camera goes, bye-bye, Dr. Will?
Yep, as soon as the camera goes, okay, everybody, out, don't talk to each other, so yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk to them.
Now, I'm assuming that you got to talk to him more in person on finale, or like...
I didn't see him.
Oh.
I didn't see him. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so I know they showed the camera on him in the front row, and I was like, wow, okay. Now with Dan, like, have you had a chance to speak with Dan at all, or?
No, I've actually been talking to a lot of Big Brother Canada people, which has been awesome. They are seriously the sweetest people on the planet. And I've been talking to like Andy and Amanda, McCrae, Spencer, a lot of people from like BB16, but mostly that, and Ian Terry a little bit, but mostly BB15 people. They've been so welcoming and very nice.
Well, Dan, if you are watching or anybody's going to tweet this out, she bought your book and got on.
I did.
Just going to say.
Thank you, Dan! Thank you, Dan!
Yeah. Oh, wait. Are we allowed to advertise for that? Dan Giesland. Sorry, boss. So I guess, with all the controversy that surrounded you coming out of the house, and I'm going to call it the Cody Gate, with the cuddling and all that, and how the whole internet just sort of blew this complete, in my opinion, out of proportion. What's your take on it?
I mean, I definitely think it was blown out of proportion. I do regret it because it did look absolutely horrible. It sincerely meant nothing to me, and I know it meant nothing to Cody. But it was strategy. I thought that if I stopped it, like especially after Zingbot, that I would be the next target. And when you're in the game, you're scared. I mean, there's $500,000 on the line, and so you do not think clearly, and you're scared. And he was also my friend in the house, so it was like fun hanging out with him and stuff.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely, and I sort of get that personal connection when you're sort of robbed and deprived of everything that you know in your life, and you're forced into one hell of a pressure cooker. I know everybody says it's a pressure cooker. I think it's a time bomb.
It is.
Like, it gets crazy. So when you come out, and of course I'm going to get on to the TMZ article with Shelly Moore, but now I know in my experience in the Army when I was interviewed, the interview that was shown on TV looked nothing like the interview that I gave to the reporter. Things are misquoted, or words are shifted around, or the edit. What's the story with TMZ, and did CBS send Shelly out to your rescue, or is it just somebody reaching out?
No, it was, I got a call from Robin, 1 week later. She calls me and was like, how are you doing? And I was letting her know, well, haters gonna hate, essentially. And she was, well, you should talk to Shelly. I mean, it was very innocent. I wasn't saying anything was ruining my life. And so me and Shelly talked, and then, a week later, TMZ calls me, and I said that I did want to talk. And they were like, well, we're going to run the article anyways. So if you want to talk, you can call me back. They were it was very intimidating. Yeah, and so I didn't want to say anything because they had terrorized my family and my friends while I was in the house, trying to get lies out of people. And so I was like, I don't want to say anything because I know they're going to twist it. I got talked into talking to them, and the line that they did take from me was that Tim and I's marriage is golden. So that's slut shaming is not ruining my life. Never said that. CBS did not need to send a backup because I was freaking out. I was very fine. And these comments are not detrimenting my life. I don't care, It's like, gosh, it was serious. And they were like, Tim's going crazy, all these things. I was like, actually, we're fine. I'm very flattered that you're so obsessed with me that you want to continue talking about my marriage, but if you could start being truthful about it, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I'm going to get so much trouble for talking about them like that. They're going to attack me again.
I'm so glad that you got to clear the air, though, because I don't like seeing stuff like that, and the Big Brother report especially. I told you we've spent a lot of time with the families over the summer while all of you were in the house, and we've enjoyed and bonded with every single family member. And there's not one family that we can say anything bad about.
Good. Yeah.
And it's disheartening to see an article like that. And I guess there's got to be bad media out there, and there's good media. And we're all about being the good media, and we hope that we can keep up that reputation. So yeah. So I'm glad you got to at least address that and let us know that there is no slut shaming affecting your life.
No, it's not. It's definitely there. Not ruining my life by any means. I'm a lot stronger than that.
Hey, and no offense, Tim, but when you're in the house with that many guys and you got that testosterone, I'd be feeling some arms myself. So, my poor husband's probably listening right now. But yeah. If you were in the house, I'd be feeling your pecs too. So, either way, it's all good.
Everybody's feeling Tim's. Yeah,
it's all good.
Well,
back to you,
I think
Richard.
it's, all right. Well, I guess it's just a question here. Cal Drogon, I'm sorry, I'm going to screw up your name. My bad.
I did too before. Sorry, Cal.
Okay. Did you vote for Derek because Cody betrayed you, or was it Derek's gameplay from a fan's perspective? Maybe a little of both.
Great question, Cal.
That's a good question. I actually was more hurt by Derek. Cody voted me out because everyone was doing it. I do not blame him at all for that. Knowing that Derek, was a mastermind behind getting me out, I was betrayed because he seemed so dang sincere. He's the only person that I sincerely thought was being honest to me every single time we talked. Me and Cody, it was a game. And so I trusted Cody, but not as much as I trusted Derek, to be honest. And so, oh my gosh, I was flabbergasted when I found it was Derek. And honestly, as a fan, being that flabbergasted that someone betrayed me that hard was awesome in my book. I was so grateful that they hit me. But to be honest, Derek betrayed me a lot. I was flabbergasted, but I went in there thinking I'm going to vote for Derek to win no matter what. And then I thought Cody answered the questions a lot better. And so during commercial breaks, I was flipping out. To Caleb and Frankie, I was like, I don't know who to vote for right now. And I decided while I was walking up to the podium, I said I was going to vote for Derek. That's what I felt in my gut. I feel like he really puppet mastered everybody. And so, but honestly, it was a very close call for me because I thought they both played a great game.
And you got to give it to Derek for not being on the block the whole season.
Yes, that was a major factor too in finding the time there. That was phenomenal.
Definite great gameplay. You got to give him that. Were you shocked to find out that he was a cop?
Yes, I remember our conversations Derek's probably a cop.
And you were like, yeah, right.
So funny. I call him the undercover cool kid because he tried to play such a nerd in the house.
Parks and Rec, I tell you, he played it well. He played it well.
He did.
And I'm not 100% sure if we're doing radio with him tomorrow, but there's a couple of things I'd love to talk to him about.
Yeah.
Because it was fascinating. It was really a lot of fun to watch him, and I know I'm going to sort of go back a bit. Your whole slop experience, you were a have-not twice, and the first time you had some issues.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I ate the slop. I don't know if I knew and I didn't think about it, but the protein powder that it's made with is soy protein powder, and I can't eat soy. I'm allergic to soy, and so I got very, very sick. And the next day, I had to do the Wedding Crashers competition with Nicole, and I was so sick during that competition. I thought I was going to throw up at every second. But yeah, slop was a terror to me. It sucked.
So I guess you have that one really shitty week on the slop experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does Big Brother at that point, do they sort of say, okay, Christine, we're going to have special slop for you? To accommodate any type of allergies, or what do they sort of say to you?
No, before you go in the house, I said, I don't eat gluten, I don't eat soy, I don't eat green vegetables, because those hurt me too, it's weird. And so they were like, okay, we'll be prepared that maybe you won't have food to eat sometimes. Essentially, that's what I said. And I was like, well, this is my dream, so all right, sounds good. My problem, not yours.
Wow.
Yeah. They did give me gluten-free crust, though, when the have-nots got pizza crust. They gave me gluten-free crust, and that was very, very sweet of them. They did not have to do that.
Oh, okay. Well,
oh,
cool.
that was so sweet of them, darn it.
I thought it was nice.
We'll give her that. I had the best gluten-free chocolate chip cookies ever.
Ooh,
my son came to visit this weekend from New York, and he brought me this bakery bag full of chocolate chip cookies, and he's like, Mom, you got to have one of these. And they were all broken up. I'm like, oh, they come like that? Yeah, they come like that, all broken up. Little did I find out, he smashed them on the plane. But I'm eating them, like, wow, oh my God, these are so good. Oh, I love these so much. And he's like, they're gluten-free. No way! So I always had this imagination that if I ate something gluten-free, that it was going to taste horrible.
Not anymore.
Is that not true for everything as well?
Yeah, no, not. Some things do taste gross, but honestly, they've done a great job on making things taste really good recently. And sometimes I like it better than real stuff.
Well, let me tell you, those cookies were better than any cookie I have ever made homemade. My grandmother's ever made. Her grandmother's ever made. So, yeah, I got to find out where to get these cookies.
Yes, let me know.
I like chocolate chip cookies. What's your favorite snack, Christine?
Hot Cheetos. I used to eat those a lot.
Hot Cheetos? Now are they like hot fries?
Hot fries? No. I eat rice cakes now for snacks. My life is very boring.
Rice cakes. You're so
and veggie
good.
sticks. Veggie sticks.
Oh, man. She eats too good for me.
I really don't know what to say here. I'm like, wow, I'm talking about rice cakes with, yeah, I'm going to shut up.
Shady says hot Cheetos are good, but frozen Cheetos are better.
I was just...
And that's a bad joke, Shady? Listen, you don't want to listen to Shady's jokes because he has the most horrible jokes in the whole entire world. These one-liners, I don't know. I don't understand what that's supposed to mean.
Can I say something really quick?
Sure.
Absolutely. It's your floor.
Victoria said, and I don't blame her, she was like, no human possibly laughs that much. But I sincerely actually do. My whole family was like, oh no, absolutely she does. Like, I laugh at everything. I used to be my brother's wingman because I would laugh at all his jokes, you know, and then all the girls were like, oh, you're so funny, you know, and so just want to say I do actually laugh at everything, and I never fake laugh because I don't really know how to. There you go.
Wow, that's impressive. So from now on, we're going to have Shady call you when he has any kind of bad jokes to tell.
Yes.
Say, look, we don't want to hear it, but here's someone who will hear it. Go to Christine.
Yeah, well, when you come on,
Yeah.
if you come out to the radio show, and of course you're more than welcome.
Which we would love.
You don't need to answer, but I tell you, you're going to hear a lot of shady jokes, and
Good.
you might get one that's funny. Well, to us, I think for you, Shady is going to be like you. Yeah, Shady, you're a lucky guy. We found somebody who's going to laugh.
Shady's my man. Shady's my man.
And speaking of the radio, I am the PR director. So yes, I would like to invite you to hang with us on one of our Big Brother Report radio shows if you would like to come back and do that with us.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome.
Okay, great. So I will email you or text you or Skype you or any of those good things.
Any of the above.
And we'll get together on it after the show.
So, I guess, coming out of the house,
Yes.
how do you, you've gotten so much of...
Is that like coming out of the
I know
closet?
you have fans. Yeah, is it like coming out of the closet? But to this wall of hate, now,
Yes.
to all the, of course we're going to have trolls, we're going to have haters, I'm sure in the chat room that's going on, there's all types of things. But, is there anything that you want to say or to address the haters? To I know, if you have to listen to one of the radio shows, I addressed one hater, Christian grandmother. I know I told you the story about the whole dare to, what was it, bite Cody's toe or something like that? Oh, yeah. So, well, guys, everybody that's listening, you got to take things into perspective, and we're all too busy trying to throw rocks into other people's glass homes. But boy, when we're close to your house with rocks, everybody's like, "What? Whoa, whoa! Don't look into my house. I don't want you to see anything." So all you internet tough guys who sit there and flex your muscles and are so higher and holier, behind the computer, thinking that you're holier than thou, grow the fuck up. It's as simple as that. And we are too busy judging other people's lives, but we don't tend to look at ourselves before we look elsewhere. Like that grandmother, the biting of the toe, which is a long way away from the penis.
It's so funny. I didn't know that was going to be something.
It's incredible. I know that you're getting the hate and stuff like that, but I'm sure every type of group out there that had any type of interaction with fans, it was absolutely insane. And I'm looking and I'm like, she's touching him. Like, did you not see the intro with Cody coming out of the house, his brother, his father, there's kissing, I love you, and all this stuff, and you're like, okay, I get that, dude. He touches everybody. There's Frankie, there's Caleb, there's you, there's Amber. So, I just sort of pissed off a lot of people. My Twitter handle's there. You can send the hate to me because I really don't care. The floor is yours. Say what you like.
It's very hard. I mean, last year when Amanda and Aaron got booed, I felt extremely bad for them, and I only tweeted them nice things because I remember that they were still human beings. And don't get me wrong, I talked a lot of crap to a lot of people, and I regret it. I got way too carried away there, and I do apologize, and I've actually apologized to a lot of people, like Amber and Brittany and stuff. But so I mean, to a sense, I can understand why people hated me. But at this point, there's no reason to keep sending me hate. I get over it. I don't know, get over yourselves. If you still think that that's so important that you need to keep sending me hate, and I can't say thank you enough to my supporters and my fans. Even the people who have given me a second chance. I get a lot of people saying, I hated you in the house, but you're so much better now. Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me a second chance. Like, please, that person in the house really wasn't me. And so now I just feel like I'm trying to show who I really am to the world. And like I said, I totally understand the hate. And people are apologizing for things that they said about me while I was in the house. I don't care. It's a game. I don't care what you said. I messed up in there. And so now, but just at this point, I just don't think it's very necessary anymore to keep sending so much hate.
Well,
it's not going to go away, right, no. Richard? We saw trolling and hate. I mean, up until BB16 started, BB15, I swear I didn't have anything to drink. BB15 was feeling it the whole length of the year up until your season started. So, they're horrible, and haters going to hate, like the song goes, and that's it. The block button, the mute button, the see you later button.
Yeah. And then people are like, how dare you block these people for sending you hate? I'm like, I don't really feel like reading that.
Whatever.
So I'm just going to use that button. I don't really understand what the problem is.
Yeah, no. It's all about love. I should have been born in the Woodstock days. It's all about love.
Yes.
Love and the stuff we...
I would have done really good in Woodstock, and before we were there, I showed everybody a little something, so... I can't do that here, but everybody here is going to sort of laugh.
Even in Canada.
Yeah.
And Gabby Condry, Gabby, Gabby says, Christine doesn't deserve any hate. I am right, or am I right? Or I'm sorry, Gabby, I'm messing that up so bad. Christine, you don't deserve any hate. Am I right, or am I right? That's what Gabby
I love you, Gabby. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. I love you.
And I'm not sure who this one is from, but it says, Tim and I talked about you all summer long. Oh, is this from you, Shady? Tim and I talked about you all summer long in private via DM. Always supporting you and him. Much respect, Christine, legit. He's always got a fangirl. What's the matter with you, Shady?
Oh, you missed the last part where it said,
don't read.
It said what?
Don't read.
Look at what he wrote.
Oh, it said don't read.
Poor Shady.
I love Shady. Reed.
Oh, Shady.
If you can't fangirl him in person, fangirl him in chat. What are you gonna do? Christine, speaking of fans, are you a fan of anybody, especially out there in any of the other seasons? Is there someone that you looked up to before you came into the house?
You know, I was always a fan of Dan's play before I got in the house, and it's absolutely crazy because I can't even remember who my favorites were. Oh, Helen. Helen was one person that I was like in awe of how much she knows going. And Amanda's way to manipulate people, like in the beginning of the season, was always amazing. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people going in who I was like, gosh, I hope I can kind of do something like they did. But it's hard now that I've been talking to some of them. I can't even remember who my favorites were to begin with. I can't remember anymore.
What type of like what's that like once it's finale, you're out? All the people that you've always looked up to as contestants of previous seasons are all rushing you, looking up to you because you're the star right now. Like, is that a little weird? Like they're fangirling you and you're fangirling them? Is like I'm trying to figure out how that works.
I haven't felt like they've been fangirling me. I think because I was so hated, it's a different situation. Everybody was more like, oh, you poor puppy dog, I'm here for you if you need me. It was more like that, and I was fangirling. I was like, oh my gosh, Andy is being so nice to me and stuff, and it was really exciting.
You talk to that Andy, you tell him, I still want to have him on the show. My girl Claudia is a huge fan of Andy, and we can't get him on here. So if you can help us get Andy on here for Claudia, we would much appreciate it.
See what I can do
about that. I know that you had some important engagement to go to after the interview. I don't know if you can stay about 3 more minutes, and we'll close up the show. You know, just in case Richard has anything else to add to the end of our show. We don't want you to miss your engagement.
Well, I know I definitely need to speak, and I have to look at it. I'm so sorry. I'm old. Spider Cider.
Oh, Spider Cider.
Thank you for reminding me, Richard.
Well,
Who are they?
Spider Cider is my husband's band, and he writes all the music.
It is.
Yeah.
And I know that.
Yeah, go to SoundCloud or Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
On there.
Well, see, now I've heard some of his songs, but I never knew that was the name. Didn't I tell you that, Richard? I was like, we got to ask her who Spider Cider is because.
Well, in Facebook you said Spider. Oh, we can't forget Spider Cider, and I'm like, so I write it down, Spider Cider, on my notes, and I have WTF. I'm like, is this a shooter? Is this? So we had a pre-interview earlier with Christine, and I'm chatting with her. So we're going through things and we're talking, and then I go, okay, so what's Spider Cider? I said, I have not a fucking clue what that is. And then she goes, that's my husband's band, and I'm like, wow, I'm an asshole.
Me too. Please apologize to Tim for us that we didn't do our research on the Spider Cider. I thought it was some kind of cool band from the 90s or something, and I missed out on it. I'm like, you know. But it may be an up-and-coming band that we'll hear more of in 2014, 2015.
Hopefully.
So that would be good. I think we should bring up Dean Massa as one of our fans this evening before we go. I always stick up for the house guests when they get hate on their Twitter. And Christine, can you tell? Christine can tell you. Oh, because I've told our people. So, Christine, you've had the experience of talking with Dean and experiencing the telling people off.
Thank you.
Telling the haters off. So
all I can say is I appreciate it, and I'm sorry that you have to do that. I'm sorry. Very, very nice.
And we do have to say hi to one of our other big fans tonight, Sebastian. Sebastian is with us everywhere we go, every interview we do, whether it's radio or live web. And he's a big fan of yours as well. And, of course, he's asking for you to follow him on Twitter. So I will send you Sebastian's Twitter handle after the show. And, Sebastian, I know that you have to get out of here as well. So good night. We love you. And Richard, why don't you take us out?
Well, you know, as anything that you want to plug, anything that you feel that we haven't talked about, the floor is yours.
I always think of something after.
The floor is yours. Well, you can save it for the radio show, right?
Yeah.
If you remember, you can save it for the radio show.
Yeah, exactly, because I can't think of a thing right now, and I always do as soon as I log off.
Yeah. Well,
So
definitely we'll get it. Your Instagram? You have Instagram? Anybody that you want to follow you there?
Instagram is just my name, Christine Brecht. Twitter is Steen Stinks. And Tim and I have a YouTube channel that we will put videos up probably starting next week, and it's Tim and Steen. So yeah, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll probably do a couple music and songs, and I'm definitely trying to get some video of me scaring the crap out of him. And so it'll be good.
Do you sing, Christine?
I do, yes.
You
yes,
do?
I wasn't able to try out for Big Brother 15 because I was in a musical last year, and so BB16 is my jam.
So this was your first time applying, and wham, right onto the show.
Yeah, and what's really funny, this is what I want to say to people who are applying, actually. Don't listen to anybody who hasn't been on the show to give you advice on how to get on. Because I went to the casting call, and there were so many people who were like, this is my 4th time trying, my 5th time trying. And they were telling me what to say because they had gone through the process before. And I didn't listen to anything they said. I went in there completely being myself and answering the questions how I wanted to answer them just by my personality. And it definitely helped. So don't listen. Like when you're at the casting call, don't listen to what people are saying. Be you. Don't try and be somebody. Seriously, just do you.
Take that advice, Shady, and take that advice, Richard.
Huh?
Yes.
We hope to see you in Canada, BB, and Shady, we hope to see you in the US, BB. And just because Big Brother is over doesn't mean you still can't follow the Big Brother Report on Twitter, which is @TBigBroReport. And you'll want to follow us for quite some time because we still have some up-and-coming HDs that we have not interviewed yet. And we have some radio shows that we're still going to be doing. Every Monday at 7 p.m., we try and have BB Palooza with Jesse Kowalski from BB16 and myself. That's BB Palooza Mondays at 7. And during the week, we do the radio shows, and they will be sporadic, and sometimes you might see a Big Brother Report unscripted with your favorite HG. So keep following us at the Big Brother Report, and you can follow me at Cure4Aiden, F-O-R-A-Y-D-E-N. That's me. How about you, Shady? Shady. Richard? How about you, Shady? Give your handle inside the chat room. What happened to Richard?
Am I here?
Okay.
Oh, of course, guys, we can't do this show without Get Real LOL, the Big Brother Report. Please follow us on Facebook. Any type of group that you can think of dealing with reality, I can almost assure you we have it. So follow us there. My Twitter handle is at BigBroCanuck. I know, original. And absolutely, that takes everything for tonight. Christine, from me, Shana, us at the Big Brother Report, Shady, the producer, we can't thank you enough for joining us. It's been an absolute blast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here. I've had fun.
Oh, I do have one more thing I wanted to cover. Holy cow, I can't believe it. And I know Christine's sitting there going, hey, he didn't ask.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
On your intro video
Must not be doing my
from
job.
CBS, when you were getting presented your key and all that stuff, there was talk about you being a nudist. And before you answer, here in Canada, here in Canada, our version of a nudist is obviously a lot different than your version of being a nudist. So I then thought,
naked and afraid thing or what?
Okay. It all started by me telling the producers. They asked, "What's going to be the hardest thing for you about going in the house besides missing your family?" And I said, honestly, at home, I never wear clothes. And so at home, I'm always naked. And, like, isn't everybody? No. So at home, I'm always naked. And they turned that into me being a nudist, when in reality, I'm the biggest prude on the planet. I only wear one pieces and tankinis. Like, I don't wear bikinis. And so I thought that was hilarious. I came out to the world thinking I was a nudist.
So you would never walk on a beach naked? You wouldn't go to a nude beach and walk naked?
I would only wear one piece on a nude beach. Yeah, never.
Yeah, everybody's thinking, right, Richard?
Well, I was expecting you to say, well, I'm only a nudist at home. And then I'm like, well, where are you sitting right now? Because I'm still not getting it. Our version in Canada of a nudist is completely different than...
I put clothes on for this interview. I was not wearing clothes before this, I'll tell you that much.
And during the pre-interview, yes, she was dressed, folks.
Yeah. In the house, I was always dressed.
She did.
Yeah,
so I
absolutely.
guess that means you wouldn't go out for the show naked and afraid.
No, never, no.
And speaking of that, boy, we could talk to you all night long. Would you like to do any other reality shows? We haven't asked you that tonight. Would you be interested in doing Survivor or Amazing Race?
Honestly, no. Tim would like to do the Amazing Race, and if he wants to do it, I'll be more than happy to send in a video with him and attempt it. I don't think I'll be good at that at all. I think I'll be way too stressed out. But honestly, Big Brother has been the only reality show my whole life that I've ever wanted to be on, and it's the only reality show that I still want to be on. So it's good. So I'm not really trying for anything else.
All right.
All right, guys, that's all I have. Shana, unless you have anything else, Christine, thank you, and we'll let you be free and run to your husband and or your engagement or whatever it is that you need to do, and we can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry we kept you so long, but it was lovely talking to you, and it's been an honor meeting you, and I will get with you about the radio show sometime this evening or tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.